This method a staple in traditional food preservation. To begin, it's crucial to use clean, sterilized jars. These are typically glass containers designed to withstand the high temperatures of the canning process. Once the jars are cleaned and sterilized in boiling water, they're filled with prepared food, leaving a small gap at the top to allow for expansion during processing. Afterward, lids are securely fastened and the jars are submerged in a large pot of boiling water. The boiling process not only kills bacteria, molds, and yeasts, but also creates a vacuum seal as the jars cool. This seal is key. It keeps air out and prevents contamination, allowing the food inside to remain fresh for an extended period. Each type of food requires a specific processing time to ensure safety and quality. For most high-acid foods, the process typically takes between 5 and 30 minutes. One of the standout aspects of this method is its simplicity. Unlike modern techniques that rely on electric equipment or complex tools, water bath canning uses basic items like a large pot, jars, and a lifter. The Amish tradition emphasizes careful handling and consistent boiling temperatures to ensure every jar is perfectly sealed and preserved. The benefits of this technique are enormous. It's an ideal way to store seasonal produce, reduce food waste, and cut down on grocery costs. By preserving surplus fruits, vegetables, and other high-acid foods, you can create a pantry full of delicious homemade products that taste as fresh as the day they were canned. Plus, this method avoids the use of preservatives, providing peace of mind about the safety and purity of your food. Countless stories highlight the effectiveness of water bath canning. Jars of home-canned tomatoes, peaches, or jams have been discovered decades later, still safe to eat and full of flavor. These real-life examples prove that when done correctly, this method can extend the shelf life of your food far beyond what you might expect. Incorporating water bath canning into your routine is not just about preserving food, it's about embracing a tradition that connects you to generations past while giving you greater control over your food supply. By mastering this timeless technique, you can enjoy the satisfaction of self-sufficiency and the incredible taste of homemade preserved foods. To master the water bath canning process, preparation is essential. Start by thoroughly washing your jars and lids with hot, soapy water to eliminate any debris or residues. Once clean, sterilize the jars by boiling them in a large pot for about 10 minutes. This step is crucial to ensure the jars are free of any bacteria or contaminants that could spoil the food. While the jars are sterilizing, prepare your chosen food. This could involve slicing, peeling, cooking, or blending, depending on the recipe and the type of produce you're preserving. Once the jars are sterilized, carefully fill them with your prepared food using a funnel. This tool ensures a clean transfer, preventing spills on the jar rims that could interfere with sealing. Leave the recommended amount of headspace, the small gap between the food and the rim of the jar, which allows for the expansion of contents during the boiling process. Use a bubble remover or spatula to release any trapped air bubbles inside the jars. This step ensures an even vacuum seal and prevents the jars from bursting during processing. Before placing the lids on, wipe the rims with a clean, damp cloth to remove any food particles or moisture. This ensures a tight and secure seal. Place the lids on the jars and screw the bands on just until fingertip tight. Not too loose, not too tight, to allow for proper sealing during the boiling process. With the jars filled and ready, bring a large pot of water to a rolling boil. The pot should be deep enough to fully submerge the jars with at least 1 inch of water above them. Carefully lower the jars into the boiling water using a jar lifter, ensuring they are spaced apart and not touching each other. This prevents any breakage and ensures even heat distribution. The processing time depends on the type of food being preserved and its acidity level. High-acid foods like fruits and pickles generally require less time than low-acid foods. Maintaining a steady, rolling boil throughout the entire processing period is critical for successful preservation. The heat kills harmful microorganisms and activates the sealing process. Once the processing time is complete, carefully remove the jars using the lifter and place them on a towel or cooling rack. Allow them to cool undisturbed for at least 12 to 24 hours. During this time, the lids will form a vacuum seal as the jars cool. You'll often hear the satisfying pop sound that confirms the seal has been successfully created. After the jars have cooled, check the seals by pressing down on the center of each lid. A properly sealed jar will have a concave lid that does not flex or make a popping sound when pressed. Any jars that didn't seal properly should be refrigerated and used first. Once sealed, the jars are ready for storage. Keep them in a cool, dark, and dry place to maintain their quality and prolong their shelf life. Properly canned and stored foods can last for years, providing a reliable source of preserved goods that retain their flavor, texture, and nutritional value. This method, though simple, requires patience and precision. Each step, from preparation to sealing, is vital to ensure the safety and longevity of the preserved food. With practice, water bath canning becomes a seamless part of the food preservation process, offering a taste of tradition while providing practical benefits for modern living. As the jars sit in storage, the vacuum seal acts as an impenetrable barrier, keeping out air, bacteria, and other contaminants that could lead to spoilage. This ensures the food remains preserved, retaining its vibrant flavors and textures. The beauty of this method lies in its ability to preserve food naturally, without the need for added chemicals or artificial preservatives. Over time, the simplicity and effectiveness of water bath canning become second nature, transforming the way you approach food storage. The ability to stockpile pantry staples and seasonal produce provides a sense of security and satisfaction, especially during months when fresh options might not be readily available. Whether it's a jar of homemade jam to brighten breakfast or perfectly preserved tomatoes to enhance a winter stew, the results of this method consistently deliver. The jars themselves become time capsules of sorts, holding the essence of peak harvests and homemade care. Every time a lid is popped open, it's a reminder of the effort invested and the timeless value of this preservation technique. The food tastes as fresh as the day it was canned, bursting with flavor and free of the synthetic elements often found in store-bought products. For those who embrace this method, it's more than just a practical skill. It's a connection to a rich history of self-reliance and ingenuity. Each jar represents a tradition passed down through generations, offering both nourishment and a testament to the enduring wisdom of the past. The act of preserving food becomes a meditative process, one that reflects respect for the ingredients and an appreciation for sustainable living. Incorporating water bath canning into daily life not only fosters a deeper understanding of food preservation, but also cultivates a greater connection to the cycles of nature. It encourages mindful consumption, reducing waste, and celebrating the bounty of every season. With each new batch of preserved goods, the tradition continues, ensuring that the knowledge and benefits of this time-honored method are carried forward for years to come. As you continue to perfect your canning skills, you'll notice that the rewards go far beyond simply storing food. The ability to preserve food at its peak allows you to enjoy out-of-season produce, and it gives you more control over your diet as you choose exactly what goes into your jars. Homemade canned goods can be customized to your taste, whether you're adjusting the sweetness of jams or experimenting with spices in pickles. This versatility lets you create a diverse pantry that caters to your personal preferences. Canning also provides a sense of accomplishment. The process, while simple, requires attention and care, turning the act of food preservation into a ritual. You're not only providing for yourself and your family, but you're also preserving traditions that date back centuries. Each jar sealed is a reminder of self-sufficiency, creativity, and the effort it takes to produce food from your own hands. The knowledge gained through mastering this method can be passed on to future generations, ensuring that this valuable skill endures. Over time, you may even begin to grow your own garden with an eye toward canning. Growing your own produce gives you the added satisfaction of knowing exactly where your food comes from and having control over how it's grown. Whether it's fruits, vegetables, or herbs, cultivating your own ingredients allows you to further deepen the connection between the land and your table. While water bath canning is an excellent way to preserve high-acid foods, it also offers an opportunity to explore other preservation methods. As you gain confidence in your canning abilities, you might venture into pressure canning for low-acid foods, or explore freezing, dehydrating, or fermenting. Each of these methods complements the others, giving you a wide array of options for preserving the bounty of your garden or farmers' market finds. The beauty of water bath canning lies in its accessibility. It doesn't require a huge investment in equipment or fancy gadgets, and the ingredients are simple and easy to find. Unlike other preservation methods that might rely on specialized tools or complex processes, water bath canning is something anyone can do with just a few basic supplies. Whether you're a seasoned homesteader or a beginner just starting to explore food preservation, the process is approachable and rewarding. Even if you don't have the space or resources for a large garden, canning allows you to take advantage of local farmers markets, co-ops, and seasonal sales, buying in bulk and preserving what you don't immediately need. This creates a sustainable food supply, reduces food costs, and limits your reliance on store-bought packaged foods. By practicing the Amish water bath canning method, you're not just preserving food, you're embracing a lifestyle that values sustainability, self-reliance, and resourcefulness. It's a way of living that reconnects you with the seasons, teaches you to appreciate the food you eat, and helps you reduce waste while maximizing the value of your food. Whether it's a few jars of peaches and syrup or a pantry full of homemade sauces, each preserved item tells a story of careful planning, patience, and respect for the food that sustains us. As you refine your canning technique, you'll likely discover ways to streamline the process and make it even more efficient. For example, using larger pots or canners can allow you to process more jars at once, saving time and effort. The more you practice, the more you'll find ways to adapt the method to suit your needs, whether that's adjusting the water temperature, managing the timing for different foods, or even setting up a dedicated space for canning. Over time, it will become second nature, and the efficiency of your process will improve as you become familiar with the subtle nuances of each type of food you preserve. For those living in smaller spaces, canning may also offer the opportunity to make the most of limited storage. Instead of filling your fridge with excess fresh produce that might spoil before you can use it, you can create a pantry full of preserved foods. This opens up more room in your kitchen and reduces the constant worry of spoilage. Plus, there's something incredibly satisfying about having a well-stocked pantry filled with homemade preserves that are ready to go whenever you need them. The process also offers an opportunity to be more mindful of the environmental impact of food waste. Canning helps reduce the amount of food that might otherwise be discarded, especially during harvest seasons when fresh produce is abundant. By canning your excess food, you're preventing unnecessary waste and ensuring that more of your food can be enjoyed in the months or even years ahead. This aligns with the broader trend of sustainable living, where small changes, like preserving food rather than letting it spoil, can have a significant impact. If you're part of a community or have access to local farms, water bath canning can also be a great way to collaborate with others and share resources. Farmers may offer bulk produce at lower prices during peak seasons, and purchasing in bulk can make it more economical to preserve large quantities of food. Community-based canning programs or co-ops can provide opportunities to learn from others and share knowledge, creating a sense of camaraderie while strengthening the connection to local food systems. Additionally, preserving food through water bath canning doesn't only mean storing fruits and vegetables. You can also experiment with preserving other goods like sauces, jams, jellies, and even syrups, all of which can be customized to your personal tastes. The versatility of the method is one of its greatest strengths. If you've ever bought store-bought canned products and thought they could use a little extra flavor, canning your own goods gives you full control over what goes into each jar, allowing you to adjust ingredients to suit your preferences. The process of canning also offers opportunities to explore flavors from other cultures. Many traditional recipes for jams, pickles, or sauces have been passed down through generations and provide a great way to diversify your pantry with unique flavors. Canning allows you to experiment with different types of fruits and vegetables, combining them in ways that you might not typically find in the store. The results can be delightful surprises. New blends of flavors you can share with family and friends. By continuing to explore and refine the Amish water bath canning method, you're embracing a way of life that prioritizes the preservation of food and knowledge. It's a practice that extends beyond the kitchen and serves as a reminder of the value of patience, the rewards of hard work, and the satisfaction of providing nourishing food for those you care about. Each batch you can reflects not only the quality of the food, but the time, care, and effort you put into ensuring its preservation, making the experience all the more rewarding. As you continue to expand your canning repertoire, you'll also gain confidence in your ability to handle different food types. With water bath canning, it's especially important to know which foods are best suited for this method. High-acid foods like fruits, tomatoes, berries, and pickles are ideal candidates, as they naturally discourage the growth of harmful microorganisms. This gives you a sense of reassurance, knowing that you're using a method perfectly suited to preserving these foods safely for long periods. However, as you gain experience, you'll also learn to recognize how different foods respond to the canning process. Some fruits may require extra attention to ensure they maintain their texture and color, while certain vegetables may need to be prepared in specific ways to preserve their taste and nutritional value. The trial and error process only enhances your knowledge, and over time, you'll develop a keen understanding of how to adjust for varying food types, ensuring that each batch is perfect. Beyond the immediate satisfaction of canning, there's also the joy of sharing your preserves with others. A jar of homemade preserves or pickles makes for an excellent gift, especially during the holidays. The personal touch involved in creating something from scratch carries meaning, and giving canned goods to friends or family can be a wonderful way to show thoughtfulness and care. Plus, your loved ones will appreciate the time and effort you've invested in creating something delicious and nutritious. Canning also encourages creativity. With each season comes new ingredients to experiment with, from fragrant peaches in the summer to hearty apples in the fall. You can create one-of-a-kind flavor combinations, infusing your preserves with spices or herbs that reflect your unique taste. You might blend fruits, add a touch of cinnamon or ginger, or even try more adventurous pairings like pear and rosemary. The possibilities are endless, and this creativity is part of what makes water bath canning such a fulfilling practice. As you progress with canning, you'll start to see the long-term benefits in your kitchen and lifestyle. Stocking up on home-canned goods means you always have something homemade and nutritious at hand, whether it's for a quick meal or a cozy snack. The food you preserved in the warmer months is there to support you when the seasons change, and the pantry becomes a valuable resource. This method isn't just about practicality, it also fosters a sense of nostalgia. For many, water bath canning is a link to the past, a way of connecting to family traditions, or even a community of like-minded individuals who cherish the art of preserving food. It's a reminder that these practices, honed over centuries, are still just as relevant and essential today, providing a sustainable way to enjoy fresh, homegrown food year-round. And while it may seem like a lot of work initially, the reward of having a well-stocked pantry and the knowledge that you're making use of every season's bounty is worth the effort. It's an investment of time that pays off in flavors and memories, one jar at a time. As you continue to embrace the Amish water bath canning method, you'll discover that it's not just about preserving food, but also about creating a lifestyle centered on sustainability, creativity, and resourcefulness. The process of canning offers a deeper connection to the food you eat, the land you live on, and the generations of knowledge that have passed down these techniques. It's a rewarding practice that pays off with every jar you seal, as you take pride in the food you've carefully preserved for your family. As your confidence grows, so will your ability to adapt this method to different foods, seasons, and flavors, allowing you to maintain a well-stocked pantry full of nutritious homemade goods. Whether you're canning fruits, vegetables, jams, or pickles, you're not only ensuring that your food is safe, but also enhancing its flavor and nutritional value. With each batch, you create a piece of your own culinary history. If you're just starting out, don't be intimidated by the process. With practice, the steps will become second nature, and the rewards of canning will continue to enrich your life in ways that go beyond food preservation. You'll find yourself with a greater appreciation for the work that goes into growing, harvesting, and preserving food, an appreciation that will deepen with each jar you open. So, if you're ready to start preserving your own food using the time-tested Amish water bath canning method, gather your supplies, pick out your favorite recipes, and begin the process. The results will not only save you money but also give you the satisfaction of knowing exactly what's in your food, all while connecting you to traditions that have been passed down through generations. If you found this information helpful and inspiring, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with more tips and tricks for self-sufficiency, sustainability, and food preservation. Share your own canning experiences and thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your journey and any creative ideas you've tried. Happy canning, and don't forget to keep exploring new ways to bring the past's wisdom into your modern-day kitchen.